Okay, let's
Cricket,
go
IPL?
into the IPL. Yep, IPL is in the business end.
Yeah. Rickon's in the chat and definitely been keen for it. He's a big RCB fan, so they're happy he's in the playoffs.
Very
And
happy.
he was saying of Royals' first RCB final is what he's been saying for weeks.
So, ruling out the two new sides.
Yeah, the
so
new squads.
Lucknow Super Giants and Gujarat Titans, obviously both the expansion sides, and both going through to play knockout cricket. So pretty impressive from them being able to do that in their first season. We're not going to go through game by game all the games since our last episode, given it was 2 weeks ago. It might make for some dry podcasting. Let's highlight a few of the big things that happened. In that RCB team, Faf scored some runs against Sunrisers, and big one into Hasaranga, 5 for 18. He's been a real find, and Sri Lankan cricket fans will be putting a lot of hope in Hasaranga, moving forward in T20 World Cups and the like. He's looking like a really good short format spin bowler. Devon Conway scored 87 for CSK in their win over our Delhi Capitals. That was probably... it made it really tough, that game, for Delhi to go on from there. They had to win out, and they did end up winning. They went 1-1 after that game. We'll get to that in a sec. Pat Cummins, we spoke, earlier in the tournament about him maybe not having the best tournament, being pretty expensive, getting a bit of the treatment, got dropped. He actually had 3 for 22 off 4 overs for KKR in their win over the Mumbai Indians. And fellow Aussie Mitchell Marsh smashed 89 in DC's quick run chase to win over the Rajasthan Royals. He also scored 60 against the Punjab Kings. So good to see the Bison there. Obviously, had the Coco was quite unwell. When we geez, it goes so quick. When we were talking about the IPL auction, and when we spoke with the Delhi Capitals media team, we were really bullish on Mitchell Marsh. I think we were even threw that.
I like what you did there, by the way. Keep going.
Well, Bison-ish, bullish for Warner, I guess. Can we throw Bison-ish into the vernacular? It doesn't quite have the same ring to it. And when we were speaking to them, we were saying, look, his year last year was incredible. Obviously biased. His name came up in the best T20 cricketers in the world. I think maybe more like a top 10 kind of guy in our opinion, and good to see him rewarding Delhi for spending big money on him with a few good knocks. And speaking of a good knock, how about this one? A good knock from Quinton de Kock. I'm a poet and didn't know it, didn't mean to do that. In Lucknow Super Giants win over KKR, Quinton went out and made 140 not out off 70 balls, so striking at 200. Third highest IPL score ever.
Only third.
Only third. And a long way behind Chris Gale's 175 not for the Royal Challengers Bangalore back in 2013. The Master Blaster, mate, he has to go down as one of the all-time greats in short format cricket.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
And Brendan McCullum, he's second with his 158 way back in 2008 for the Kolkata Knight Riders. Now, quickly on Brendan McCullum, announced this week that he will be England's head coach for Test cricket. What are our thoughts around that?
Yeah.
Well, I think you said it before. They had to poach more Kiwis to put in the English squad.
Classic England. Now they've got a Kiwi coach and a Kiwi captain playing for England.
That's it.
Yeah,
Or coaching, I should say.
Yeah, they've seen what the Black Caps have been doing, and they've been pushing the top of the rankings. So, it's a good time to get a little bit of help in the squad.
That's right. The next Ashes might have to be the Chapel Hadley series. But McCullum, obviously, we was kind of talking pre-show. We're like, I wonder if he will actually get the Test gig, because obviously renowned as a white ball cricketer. But people kind of forget how good he was as a Test cricketer as well. He made a triple hundred. Like, people tend to forget that pretty quick. Whilst obviously his premium, forte was white ball, opening the batting, terrorising whoever was bowling to him. Yes. Was actually a really handy Test cricketer. Can you bring up his numbers? I think he might have played sort of 70 odd tests as well. If you wouldn't mind just chasing that up. He'll be the Test cricket coach, and Aussie Matthew Mott will be the white ball coach. So a few of our Indian listeners or overseas listeners might not be that familiar with Matthew Mott. He played a lot of Shield cricket here for Victoria, but was uncapped for Australia. Never quite broke into that Test side. Pretty tough time to be an Australian cricketer in those days, with the likes of Hayden Langer, Ponting, War, Damien Martin, Darren Lehman, etc., etc.
That's it.
So to continue the theme, the poaching from the colonies, reaching out to get some talent.
That's right, the South African / New Zealand / English cricket team. We can't really talk there anymore now that we've got Marnus Labuschagne, I guess. That's one guy. One fucking guy.
Just one guy.
Number of tests for McCullum and just maybe his averages, please.
Yep. Yeah. So he played 101 tests.
Jeez, I was saying 7. I said 7.
I'm not sure.
He was in that team a long time.
I'm not sure if that is international though. Let me.
That's 100. That's 101 tests.
Average 38.64, so just behind Roy. 12 centuries, 31 50s.
What was that top score? 302. 302. Yeah. Impressive. Yeah, there you go. So in my head, he was sort of a 70 to 80 test guy. 101 tests.
Yeah, that's it.
Sounded like an Indian on the internet. There you go. There you go. Not the first time that has happened. How many? Have you got his ODI record? He would have played 200 ODI games at least.
Yeah, 260 ODIs.
Yeah.
Highest score was 160, average 30.41.
So that's a little bit lower than I expected. Yeah, there you go. Has it got strike rate for
5 centuries? Strike rate 96.3.
Yeah, there you go. An elite hitter. Yeah. So there you go. England have got a coach that was a little. What do you call it? Segue. Yeah, segue.
No.
Still not.
Divergence?
No.
Anyway,
English
majors, 3 of us on the table. Keep going.
Nope, none of us were English majors, no. Well, let's do something where we talk on the internet.
Sarcasm, Bev, sarcasm.
Kohli made some fucking runs.
Yeah, it's about time.
Virat Kohli, he made 70-odd in RCB's loss to Gujarat Titans. Josh Hazlewood pretty handy in that game. A bit of a stinker of a series, really, for Virat, but for Kohli fans and for Virat himself, good to get the proverbial monkey off the bat and, make a couple runs there in what was otherwise a very lacklustre IPL. For the former Indian skipper, Moeen Ali made 93 the other day against Rajasthan, and our Delhi Capitals, they kind of made their run late, I suppose. Inconsistency kind of killed them, really struggled to...
they went win-loss nearly all
essentially,
year,
to get back-to-back wins. All they had to do was beat Mumbai Indians. They would have jumped RCB overnight, playing the Seladula Mumbai Indians, and they lost last night. Rovman Powell did a little bit with the bat. I think we've got that around the wrong way.
Yeah, that might be around the wrong way.
Yeah, I'm sure they lost last night to Mumbai, and that was to finish. That was to finish.
Read the numbers. 159 to 160. So it's around the wrong way.
Yeah.
Anyway, English majors and reading obviously struggling at the moment.
I just told Rick the same thing. I was like, we can't read either. Anyway. So where's the table at? We've got the top 4.
Yeah, top four.
There's only a dead rubber this evening.
Yeah, I think Kings and Sunrisers played tonight. Doesn't really have any impact.
Sunrisers
they died in the arse.
They started slow, had a really good middle section, and then died in the arse. So
Yep. So Gujarat finished first with 20 points, 10 and 4. Rajasthan Royals finished just ahead of Lucknow Super Giants there at 9 and 5 on net run rate, and RCB, despite that negative net run rate, they go through with 14 points. They're 8 and 6. Monks, have you got the bracket there for us? And when are those games? Are they midweek this week?
Yep. So the first game is going to be on the 24th of May. That's going to be Gujarat versus Rajasthan Royals. And then after that, on the 25th, we'll have Lucknow up against Royal Challengers.
And our time, that's Tuesday, Wednesday. Cool.
Yeah. It's interesting with those 4 teams, like with the Titans and Giants being the 2 new teams come through. And
Rajasthan, who hadn't done much recently. RCB, obviously, a very strong team on paper.
Well, that's the thing. Like, they might have finished 4th, but on paper, they've still got elite talent. top to bottom. So, it'd be very interesting to see whether, it's finals now, it's 0-all. They're going to go through and see.
It's 0-all, mate.
It all starts again.
It all starts again.
That's it.
It all starts again now. Let's talk about individuals. We've spoken a lot about Josh Butler and how good a series he's had. I think a few weeks ago we were like, he can't be caught.
Rahul tried, but yeah.
Yeah, KL Rahul did try. He finished within 100 runs of Josh Butler. So Butler, 14 knocks, 1 not out, 629 runs, average 48 strike at 146, 3 tons. I think really kind of firmed as the best stick in the world at T20 cricket. KL Rahul, as per mentioned there, in second place with Quinton de Kock. So interesting, 2 guys from Lucknow, and we spoke about their partnership before. So in that QDK knock where he made 140 not, Rahul was with him, and it was actually the highest opening partnership ever in the IPL, 210.
Well, they had 3 in that top 10 list.
Yeah, Deepak Huda. Yep, Deepak Huda finishing 9th there. Faf du Plessis, 4th on that list, and our David Warner, 5th. Did miss those first 2 games, so it would have been interesting to see what could have been if Davey Warner had played a little bit more. But again, much malaligned last year at Sunrisers, essentially lost his captaincy and his position, had to ride the pine. Bit of a messy divorce, if you will.
Finishing top 5, though.
Yeah.
That's a good way to do it.
That's right. Coming back out, going back to where he started, with what was the Delhi Daredevils back in the day, his first IPL team, going back to the Delhi Capitals and having an excellent tournament. Rounding out the top 10, I won't go through the numbers, just the names. Shikhar Dhawan, Ishan Kishan, Hardik Pandya, Deepak Huda, and Shubman Gill.
When was the next Aussie on that?
Yeah, I think you might have to scroll a fair bit because Maxwell didn't play heaps. He got married and missed a few games and then didn't score a bunch of runs. Mitch Marsh had COVID and didn't play heaps. So we're in the 30s. Maxwell there at 33.
Bit concerning leading into the World Cup in a couple of months' time. But
yes and no, though, because in the IPL last year, which finished late last year, Maxwell was so good, I suppose. Did miss the 3 games at the start of the season to get married. So he finished that with 268 at a tick under 30, striking at 173 as well. So I suppose you got to think that Maxi isn't that that top 3 kind of guy. He's that really power hitter, 4 or 5 kind of guy that just needs to come out and score runs.
Tim David was there at 49 and Ricken was in the chat.
We only played 8 games.
Yeah, he played only 8 games.
Yeah.
Get dropped by Mumbai Indians, I believe. And then, he's come back and has been better. And interesting to see.
Very interesting after all the money that got spent on him. And ended up having a good end to the tournament. And we spoke a few weeks ago. I doubt that he plays for Singapore much longer.
Bowlers.
Yeah, down the bowl. Stoinis was way down the list there. Mitch Marsh fairly well down the list in terms of the Aussies. So Yuzi Chahal, he finishes with the purple cap with 26 wickets, 16.5 average, going at 7.6. Played every game for the Rajasthan Royals, and that man that we mentioned just earlier in the show, Wanindu Hasaranga, he had a real coming out series, I think, for the young Sri Lankan spinner. He had 24 wickets in second there at 15. Kasigo Rabada, he only played the 12 games, so had he played a couple of extra games there, he may have finished higher. He had 22. Kuldeep Yadav, we've spoken a lot about him at Delhi, the left arm Chinaman. He finished equal 4th there with Umran Malik. Now, here's an interesting one. You'll have to scroll a fair bit down to see an Australian. Josh Hazelwood there, 17th. Although, again, played 10 games. So had he played a few more, possibly a little bit further up there. I think the thing that we liked about Hazelwood is his economy wasn't too bad. I think he was going for about 8, whereas Pat Cummins was going like 9.5 kind of thing. And then, you've got to scroll a long way down, I think, before you'll find any other Aussie. Dan Sams there. Dan Sams, he had 13 wickets at 28 and 8.8. So nothing really to write home about there in terms of numbers there for the Aussie bowlers. We just always talk about it. The depth of India at the moment is scary. If you don't mind scrolling back up there. Pat Cummins, how about that economy rate? 10.6.
Yeah.
So the
Well,
Sticks took a liking to facing hot boy Pat Cummins in this tournament.
Well, you look at who's directly underneath him, and you're like,
Maxi.
well, Maxi, of course, bowling his spin with an economy rate of under 8. But
Maxi's spinners are good. He can send a few darts down and doesn't tend to get the punishment too much. Monks, if you wouldn't mind scrolling back up, how many of that top 10 are Indians? Chahal, Yadav, Malik, Harshal Patel, Mohammad Shami, Natarajan, Avesh Khan. So 7 out of the top 10 are Indians there. The only others in the top 10, Rabada, South African, Hasaranga, Sri Lankan, and Rashid Khan, Afghani. So 7 out of the top 10 are Indians.
It doesn't surprise me too much because they do favour to try and get... actually, no.
No,
they want the international quicks. That's the thing they really go after.
International quicks and middle order sticks. It seems.
All-rounders,
Yeah, the all-rounders. That seems to be the internationals that get the big money in the IPL auction. That often will go with homegrown openers, or that's a bit of a generalisation, but there are a lot of good,
there's a lot of good
Rahul, Sharma didn't have a good series, but they come to mind.
They've got plenty of batsmen and plenty of spinners. So that's what they go after.
But the interesting thing is how many quicks on that list that are Indians. So
prefer the local conditions, maybe.
Maybe. I think it's just testament again to the Indian depth and how difficult it's going to be playing India, especially especially at white ball cricket.
Oh, yeah.
But it's India in India. Australia will play them in the middle of the year. We have Sri Lanka first, a couple games against them. We will preview that when it comes. Not that far away. I think mid-June, I believe. Is that it for cricket?
I think so. There's not much else in the cricketing world happening currently.
With DC out, who are we going for? I'll get around RCB for Maxi, I think. I'll get around RCB. Or one of the new...
I was thinking one of the new ones.
One of the new franchises. That'd be a cool story. 50-50 chance.
Cool story,
50-50 chance that Lucknow or Gujarat win it in their first year now. So that would be a cool story. There was a lot of people saying, no, we don't need to expand to 10 teams. It's going to dilute this level of skill, the quality of play. I don't think that happened at all, really, this year.
The fact that they've got the auction and the way that they pick the players at the start of the year means that, you can't really dilute the talent because you can retain players, but not to the same degree, I guess, as...
Exactly. When you can only retain 3 or 4 guys, you're essentially playing with a new sort of bunch of guys each year. And it showed this year with Mumbai and CSK, last year's winner and dominators of the whole tournament, really, finishing 9th and 10th.
Yeah.
So I suppose that's the beauty of the IPL, is that, just about anyone can win it.
Yeah. Rickon makes a valid point. Steins at the Giants and Matthew Wade's also at the Titans.
Stoinis,
yes.
The reading's going good tonight.
Stein, yeah.
Sounds like Stein.
Dale
Stein is back. Stoinis is back. You need your glasses on this show.
I was shortening it. I was doing very Australian.
It gets shortened to Stoin.
Stein, Stoin. Yeah. Fuck yeah.
All right.